Hello artists, welcome to the Creative Station, my queen's apartment, where I'm coming at you with another tutorial. What we're going to be working on today is we're going to be making something really cool. It's actually really close to my heart right now because I'm still inside a lot, and I know that I've been thinking a lot about where the heck would I rather be right now than just stuck at home staring at my phone until my eyeballs fall out of my head. So let's get started. Okay, friends, here I am at the side of your screen. So what we're going to be working on today is circle landscape self-portraits with Community Word Project and me, your teaching artist, Chelsea. So when we think of circle landscape self-portraits, it's kind of a weird word. Like, that just sounds like a bunch of words jumbled together. So let's check out what that means. What is a circle landscape? A circle landscape is where you create a landscape. So that's a picture of a place, right? So that's usually a physical place like the horizon or a cityscape, or something from nature inside the shape of a circle. So you guys who maybe do things like Pinterest or other things like that may have noticed that this is a really big art trend. And I think that it's really interesting, not only because it pushes you to create a whole world inside this tiny little space, but I think it's also really nice because there's something kind of storybook illustration about it. And it captures a really nice whimsical feeling when you have this little window into a space there. So my question about it was, how can we use this to create something that shows the importance of this image to ourselves? So here's where we're going to have a little pause the video moment. So I'm going to ask you guys to pause the video and set a timer. So for 3 minutes, you guys are going to free write or you can sketch. So just do some little doodles and think about the place that comes to mind when I say, wait for it, the place I wish I could be right now. Okay? So the place I wish I could be right now is, and now you're gonna pause for 3 minutes. Ooh, 3 minutes. Okay, if you didn't already pause, then I'm going to assume that the place either came to mind immediately and you know what you're going to create here, or you're cheating. So pause the video and do it for 3 minutes. Otherwise, so when I was gone right now for this 3 minutes, I ended up writing about the canyons that I lived in when I was a kid. So being stuck in this small New York City apartment, I've been thinking a lot about big open spaces and spaces that I really miss. And one of them is when I lived in a really rural part of the canyons. And when I say rural, I mean like next child was an hour walk away kind of situation. So you know how crazy that must seem growing up in New York, where you can't throw a banana without hitting someone in the head. The mountains were made from clay in this part of California. So this really bright orange clay, and the powder from it used to get all over everything. And then there were beautiful golden poppy fields that were just everywhere. And when I think of the canyons, I picture them at night. And I picture the poppies and how they used to catch the moonlight and they glowed. So when I created this, this is what I created in mind. So you'll see behind it, that's actually an image of myself that I created a cartoon version of using a digital drawing app. This brings me full circle, circle landscape self-portraits. So you guys are going to be doing two techniques. You're going to be doing the circle landscape, but as the background, you're going to be using a self-portrait. So you're going to take this place that you would rather be right now, this place that is important to you for some reason. So it could be, I want to be on Mars right now. I want to be on the moon, but it could also be, I want to be where my family is from. It could be, I want to be in Paris or Japan or somewhere just to go on vacation, somewhere I've always wanted to go because the food is bomb or the music is amazing or whatever you would like. You're going to take that and put that in the circle, but behind it, you're going to be using yourself. So when I say self-portrait, you can do what I did and you can cartoon and digital art a version of yourself in your face. Or you can also use a different body part. So you can use a hand, holding the circle, or you can use maybe your eye. You can also use a section of your face like that. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples here that actually a couple of kids that I worked with before did, and I just think they're really awesome. We've got a couple of examples of using the hand technique for it. So they used their own hands as a reference point for this, and I'm going to explain how in a second. Each of these were made in the same digital drawing app that I'm going to be showing you on. You can use any digital drawing app, so you can use Sketchpad, you can use Sketchbook, you can use Metabang, which I did in my last tutorial. So whichever suits you, you can use those tools. And you can do this in any of those apps. Okay guys, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna go to the Sketchbook drawing app or whichever drawing app you prefer. This one is really awesome. It's free to download. You can use it on almost any machine except, I believe, Chromebooks. But you can use it on laptops, tablets, phones, all of those other devices. So step one, you're going to open a photo of yourself or the body part you want to use as the background for your landscape. So take a picture on your phone, either of yourself or of your eye or your hands or whichever you prefer. Step two, in a new layer, use the digital art tools to paint and trace the photo, and you're going to cartoon it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what that looks like as an example. Step three, in a new layer, use the shape tool to create a circle. You can also do another shape if you like. I prefer the shape of the circle and how that looks in my drawings, but you can do a triangle, you can do a square, you can do a star or a heart. All of those are also fine. So, or in a final layer, create your landscape inside the circle. So the important note here is you're going to keep each layer separate. So come on, what does this look like? Let's go check it out on the drawing app. Here we are in the Sketchbook app. So you can see that I already have a photo open, and this is of my own hand, and I just took it kind of awkwardly at like a weird angle on my phone. And basically I'm going to use this as a starting point so that I can create a background for my circle landscape. So how do we start to do this on this app? This app is pretty easy to use, but the first thing that I'm going to recommend you do is get the right kind of color going. So you can use your dropper tool here. By clicking on the dropper and then going over the image and selecting wherever you would like to grab your colors from. Or when you start drawing, on the side here, and it may look different on whichever you're using, you can select the tool that you want to use. So I'm probably just going to use something really simple here, like the paintbrush. And then I'm going to open a new layer once I have the color that I want to start out with to outline my hand. So I'm just going to press this plus button, and that opens a new layer. So that means that everything I do here, as you can see on the side, is kind of like its own thing. So I'm just going to press the undo button because that was not what I wanted to do. And I'm just going to go over and outline the hand. And when I'm going through, I'm just making sure it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to color it in. But I just want to make sure that I'm getting in all those details, and I'm going to start marking off where the different colors, tones are. So I can either use my dropper to make sure that I get these other tones correct, or I can also use the sliding scale and kind of go along here. Well, those are a few ways that you can get the colors you want. You don't have to stick to the exact colors of the hand if you don't want to. I just like to stick to the colors because I think that adds to a nice realism effect for myself. So I'm going to color this in and cartoon it, and then I'm going to come back to you to show you the results and start the circle part of my drawing. All right, we're back. So I have cartooned my hand. So you can see here that I decided to do a black outline because I felt like it wasn't popping enough against the white background. I did kind of change mostly how the hand looked. So feel free to have fun with this. It doesn't have to be exact, and you can have fun with the background too. The next step is we need to draw our shape. So you need to click onto this little icon here that has a little square and circle overlapping. It doesn't matter what device you're on, it should always have this. So we're gonna click onto the oval tool. And then if you're on a laptop, what you're gonna do, and you will do something similar on a tablet, I'm just gonna click, making sure that this is on a new layer, by the way. So make sure you're adding that. I'm gonna click open. It's okay if it's not perfect at first, because you'll be able to move it around. So you can make it big like that. And when you want to move it, you just need to select onto the selector tool with the arrows, and then you'll be able to move the circle wherever you like. So if I want to make sure that the whole background inside this circle is blank so that I have a nice, neat thing to color in and draw on, I just need to make sure I select the bucket tool, put my color onto white, and then select it. So that makes sure that that's a nice blank canvas for me to create a beautiful landscape with. So I hope you guys can see how this works and are inspired by some of the stuff I've shown you. Feel free to Google your own inspiration and really make these your own. I think it's a really fun thing to do, and I know that it makes me feel good to think about cool places that I know I'm going to be able to go again. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see y'all next time.